Okay, we're recording in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm LaWanda.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are here for our roundtable discussion, the long-awaited roundtable discussion. And we are finally here to do it. And with us, we have a very special guest. So we hope you guys enjoy this. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. We have with us some of our spotters today. If you guys want to start off introducing yourselves, I guess Monique, you can take it first.
Hello, everybody. I am Monique. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia, ATL. I'm an entertainment writer for the Jasmine brand. So I do a lot of the celebrity gossip, entertainment stuff. I'm also a small YouTuber trying to grow my channel. It's hard out here now in these YouTube streets. So
it is.
Y'all come over and help a sister out.
Okay, well, welcome.
On my journey.
Great.
Definitely.
All right, Anita.
Hey, I'm Nita the Diva. I come from Lamont Tyson's channel. I am a new YouTuber as well. I do movie reviews. I do commentary on TV shows and trending topics as well. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Ron and I were actually on the panel with Nita.
Yes. Yeah.
Nathan, coming to you.
Hi, I'm Nathan, UK follower. Just fan of you guys' work and just pleased to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us. Glad to have our brethren from across the pond.
It's late out here, so excuse all the yawning on my tired face.
Nope, you great.
Oh yeah, it's like 11 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
I have family in the UK as well.
Well, thank you for being with us on your time this late. Brandon, we coming to you.
Hi guys, how y'all doing?
Good, man.
Happy to be here. My name is Brandon. I'm coming from Sacramento, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Brandon. It's a pleasure to have you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Ron H., we've had you on before. It's great to have you back, bro.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me again. You know, I'm very excited about talking power with you guys. So that it's a great moment for me. It's good to meet all these other new faces. I've seen certain people on YouTube already, and like was said before, I also have my own YouTube channel going on. I cover the Knicks basketball team, and so it's called Still Knick Fans. So definitely, if you into that, check us out. So thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And I believe we have a special guest with us as well. So, Ron, you want to bring him in?
I sure will.
Wow.
Welcome.
So happy to be here.
We are glad to have you. This is an original, one of the longest running Power characters. He's been in the original Power and now on PowerBook 2. This is Shane Johnson, who plays Cooper Saxe.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
We're glad to have you.
All right.
Uncle
This
Nancy.
is going to be fun, isn't it? This is going to be fun.
Yes.
I can
Don't
tell.
trust
I'm
that
going to
guy.
get some
Don't trust
heat,
that guy.
Yeah,
heat
well,
coming my way here pretty soon.
Yeah, we got a small tribe waiting for you, but it's all about love.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, Shane, it's a pleasure to have you with us, first of all. So thank you for taking the time to join us.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And we kind of want to pick your brain a little bit about PowerBook 2 and maybe even some questions from the original Power. So Tiffany, you want to get us kicked off?
Sure. Tiffany from the Spot. I'm so happy to have you on. I wanted to ask you about Tariq and Saxe's relationship with Tariq. I know I've heard you speak to Courtney before about, Ghost being the white whale, like Moby Dick. And is that how Saxe feels about Tariq? Is it because he wasn't able to get Ghost, or is it some leftover residual feelings with Greg Knox, like some hard feelings because Saxe was friends with Knox?
Well, I think it's really, when it comes to Tariq, it's really complicated. I do agree that for Saxe, there's the white whale sort of. Ghost is the one that got away, and then here's Ghost 2.0. Not really, because he's a different beast, but that's how Cooper Saxe might look at him, right? Like, here's an opportunity for me to get in here and do some justice. But in reality, it's a little twisted, because in a way, Tariq saved Cooper Saxe. Cooper was, he had a gun, he was walking to that club, and he was set to do business. And the one thing that I really know that this kid did with incontrovertible evidence is that he killed his father.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
But I was about to do it anyway. So in a way, he kept me from some Hail Marys, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, and for our guest spotters, be thinking of some questions for Shane as we're going through, and I'm going to kick it to you guys in a second, but I want to go to LaWanda next.
Thank you, because he kind of dovetailed right into my question. So you went in that club with a gun, right? So my question is Saxe a good guy or not? Or is it just complicated?
Well, it's similar to the relationship with Tariq, which is, and the other thing is I think, to finish the Tariq thing, is I think Cooper has an appreciation for him in a way. I mean, like, when it comes to the thing with his dad, was it illegal? Did he commit a murder? Yes, but was it justice?
Right.
And so I think that the lines are a little blurred. Is Cooper, I think the first 3 or 4 seasons of Power, I had a concept of justice is it has to be within these lines of the law. Mm-hmm. And that clearly wasn't working. I just had L after L after L constantly. And so I think I started bending the rules a little bit and getting somewhere. And then now I feel like now I'm on the other side of the law, right? And it's really complicated. And so justice is this kind of evasive, hard thing to grasp. And I think that there's a great line that is something along the lines of, sometimes, I think it's my line actually, that justice, sometimes it just needs a kick in the ass. Mm-hmm. And so is he a good guy? I don't think that I think he would like to think that he's doing a brand of justice,
okay. I think that's fair.
And he's a lover now too,
Yes, he is.
Right. And so I had a quick question for you as well, though, because a lot of the authorities in this show start off being well-intentioned and, really after justice, doing the right thing, but they always get corrupted somehow. So in your opinion, do you feel that Saxe is too far gone now?
No, I mean, I don't. I feel like I'm surviving by the skin of my teeth right now. I think in working with Davis, and Davis obviously is playing him, and he's kind of playing Davis, and it's, I think he's in a dangerous position, but I don't think he's too far gone. I think one of the other things that I'm wrestling with is these expectations from my family, right? Which were kind of set earlier when the show premiered, where you saw that he had this family that had the money, had the power. Like, Cooper doesn't have to work.
Right.
He doesn't have to try. Like, he's got a whole path that's set out for him. But he's kind of like Braden in a way. He's kind of like, but that's not me. And I don't want that. That's not going to define who I am. Like, I actually want to be about something. And I think, has Cooper lost his way at times?
Yeah.
A few times. I actually have a question.
Yeah, hop in.
Well, no, I got one question too.
Okay.
So, I'm
okay.
about But I want to say that as one of the major antagonists of the show, how does Cooper sleep at night juggling being a defense attorney with Davis and you being the former prosecutor slash FBI agent? It seems like you're losing a lot of sleep, although you're having a pretty good time with Jenny. But just want to know, how's your sleeping arrangements going here?
I'll sleep later.
It doesn't look like you're getting much sleep.
There'll be plenty of time for that. Yeah, I definitely think that right away, actually, when I started working with Davis, I think Cooper's kind of like right away going like, wait, what did I get myself into? Especially when Davis starts going, yeah, it's about the money and it's about billable hours and it's about, I don't care if they did it. I don't want to know. I just, and Cooper's like, wait, what is this? But there's also another side of it that's obviously very appealing. First of all, it keeps him from having to go work with his family, which essentially would be admitting defeat and being miserable for the rest of his life. And so this is kind of what is it, like a branch, and it's not an olive branch, but it's like, when somebody reaches down and kind of gives you an opportunity that maybe not the best opportunity, it's kind of like taking a deal with the devil because it might get you somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of what he's doing,
All right, Monique, we're going to come to you.
Yes. So I've always wanted to know, as an actor, what is it like playing a character that's hated by so many people for such a long period of time? People have hated you for some years now. So how is that?
Really? I had no idea that people hated me.
He must not be on Twitter much.
He's being facetious. He knows.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little older. So when I started the show, I was kind of like, I'm not going to do Instagram and Twitter. And I kind of was, like my kids are doing that stuff. And so it took me a while to kind of get into it. And then when I first kind of started jumping on the feeds and stuff, I was really taken aback by the amount of heat and straight up, like you should die. And if I ever stab you, I'm gonna punch you in the throat, whatever it is.
Oh no.
Yeah, some people go too far.
Yeah, people do go too far.
Yeah.
By the way, they did the same thing to Tariq, to Michael.
Oh,
yes.
Listen, we had Tariq on our Who Can Get the Hands list in the original Power. Every week, we have a segment called Who Can Get the Hands. We had Tariq on our list every week. It was only till we got to Ghost that we turned the corner, and we've been supporting Tariq.
But it's pretty amazing, right? It's pretty amazing, the craftiness of Courtney Kemp to be able to sort of turn that. Like, I remember when she came to me and said, hey, so we're, Power was wrapping up, and she said, would you like to be a part of this spinoff? It's a Tariq spinoff. And I was like, absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much. It's amazing. And then she walked away, and I was like, a Tariq spinoff? Who the hell? Everybody hates him.
Right.
But season 6 did a pretty amazing job of justifying his behavior and sort of understanding what made him the man that he is today. And you can see him trying to outcreate the path that was put before him. And he really kind of has 4 parents, right? He's got like Ghost and Tasha, but he's got Tommy and he's got Kanan. And so he's kind of a mess of all those people, and hopefully the best of them. So I have high hopes for Tariq, but I lost my way. What were you talking about? I was talking about something else.
Just how has it been over the years as an actor getting so much hate?
So
does it sometimes get weird when people don't cut it off like, hey, I'm just acting this. I'm not really Cooper Saxe.
No, honestly, like I said, at first it sort of shook me a little bit, and I didn't quite. And then once I started to comprehend that it's actually accolades for doing what we're doing, it's, condemnation and acclamation are 2 sides of the same coin. It's noise is noise, right? I mean, 50 teaches us that. Noise is noise. So, so for me, it was like, oh, this is because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then once I started really engaging people, which I try to engage a lot of people on social media, it goes from being like, you know, you need to die. Why don't you catch a bullet? To me going, you know, making a joke out of it, saying something back to them, like I eat bullets for breakfast or whatever it is. And they go, oh my God, you responded. I love you. You're so great. And it immediately turns into something positive. It's really, and so I think that there's this cool kind of thing with I think our show in particular, but probably a lot of shows now. I think people really like to kind of bend the line between what's real and what's not real. They like to treat us, everybody knows that we're actors, but people like to kind of treat us and talk to us like we're the characters. And we're all going like, we didn't write this stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes, it is. Anita, do you have a question for Mr. Shane Johnson?
Yes, I do. Hey.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask you, I feel like being a prosecutor and a defense attorney is almost, especially with Tariq St. Patrick being the case that you're on, I feel like that could be a conflict of interest. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's kind of unethical in a way, how that's working out?
Well, not really, because I mean, listen, I'm not a real lawyer. I'm a farm boy, but what I would say is that Davis has hired him because of his expertise in knowing how prosecution works, and obviously his knowledge of these types of cases. You know, he also hired me clearly to help with his bro,
Right.
So there are, and I'm also not specifically personally prosecuting or defending. I'm part of the team that's defending Tariq, right? It would be a little different probably if I was first chair, but Davis is first chair, and I'm basically just there to kind of help guide him and give him information that he could use, and to obviously go toe to toe once in a while with my girlfriend, and create problems in the bedroom, you know.
Yep, we've seen a lot of that this season.
Oh man, Saxe. You could tell that Saxe is kind of like, you know, caught feelings, and he's kind of like, so hey, she's like, this is strictly business, and I'm like, is it?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, it is.
Okay, Brandon, we're coming your way. Do you have a question?
You know what? I do. But before I ask it, just don't do anything too St. Patrick on me, you know?
That was like one of the greatest lines.
That was great.
That was classic.
Great. I wish I could take credit for it, but that was great. That was a great line.
It was. But you know, besides yourself, who would be your favorite character? And you can kind of answer this from the viewer's perspective, or, you know, professional perspective. Who's your favorite kind of character on the show from both seasons or both series?
Well, from Power, there are two characters that really stand out to me. Joe Sikora, obviously, Tommy is
He's awesome.
Really looking forward to his show. First of all, he's a great friend, but he's just a force of nature, you know. And I think that show is going to be exciting. And I think that his character was awesome because he's a serial killer, right? And he's a drug dealer. He's like all the things that you're like, get him off the streets in real life. But at the same time, everything he did was from like this heart. You could always feel that and him being conflicted and him having so much going on behind the wheels made you feel for him. Even when like he's killing his girlfriend, you're like, oh my God, he's doing it for Ghost. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
So him and Lobos, the guy that Enrique who played Lobos,
I love him.
Was just
I love Lobos.
Miss Lobos. Oh my
God. Every time he came on camera, I was like, this guy, man. As an actor, as a fan of his as an actor, I was going, the things that he got away with on camera were just unbelievable. Like, and they worked just so huge choices and just pulled it off. I thought he was really delicious as a character. In our show, I mean, I really think Michael Rainey's become a hell of an actor. I'm really impressed.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think that there are so many people that I'm impressed with. I love working with Method Man. I feel like we both bring great shit out of each other, and I feel like it's a good sort of yin and yang between the two of us. And I think that Woody, who plays Kane,
Oh yeah,
He's killing it.
yes.
He's killing it.
real job.
Mhm.
Great actor.
But I mean, honestly, I don't really sense any weakness in the cast, and I think that's witnessed by the fact that our audience, I feel like, keeps growing. And my fear coming into this was like, well, we're not going to have like a power audience, but we'll catch an audience. It'll be cool. But I think we've even grown that audience. The difference now is that a lot of it's a younger audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which definitely makes me feel like some of the comments I get now is like, get your old ass off the like, I don't remember this power. Talk to me this way.
Saxe, I can tell you for sure there's some old folks that like you too. And I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's funny because when you're 25 and you look at, I'm 45. So when you look at somebody that's 45 and you're 25, you're like, oh my God, they're so old.
Oh yeah.
And then when you're 45, you're like, I still
Yeah,
feel
I'm not old.
Exactly.
Well, I know Ron H. and Nathan may have a question.
Yeah, we want to get to them. So, Nathan, you want to jump in with your question?
I was just thinking that originally when you came part of the show, you wasn't really I would say like a major character in terms of the police force. It was more like focused around Greg and Angela. So when you noticed your role getting a bit bigger, did you really see yourself where you are now in terms of Ghost? Like, did you see that kind of character development for yourself?
Well, what I'll say is that, first of all, when I first auditioned for the show, I auditioned for Tommy, which was,
Really?
I know. But as an actor, you put on what they give you, and nobody's seen that side of me, right? But I was like, all right, I'm going to go in and throw down as Tommy, and so I did my version of Tommy, which is very different than Joe's. Joe's is much better, but I was good enough that's when I met the producers and met Courtney and all that, and then I didn't hear anything for like 3 weeks. And then they brought me in for Greg Knox, which was like a little bit closer, but I was like, hey, he's a little all-American-y, and I have a little bit, anyway, it just didn't totally fit. And then when they brought me in for Cooper Saxe and I read the breakdown, I was like, okay, it's like, privileged, highly educated, arrogant. I was like, oh, well, here we go. That part, which is funny because I grew up in a trailer park, but you are what you are when you walk in a room. It's what people see in this business, and that's really all that matters. So in terms of my character development, you're right. Early on, it was a little more two-dimensional. I was the thorn in Angela's side, a dog with a bone, but it was pretty straightforward and constantly frustrated that he wasn't getting the promotion, that he wasn't getting the takedown of whoever he was after. And then it, starts getting more complicated as it gets more and more personal. Like as he starts losing his friends, and Mike Sandoval dies, and Greg Knox dies, and then Agent Donovan dies, and our Lobos gets killed, and all these people on my watch that just start dying. It starts getting more and more personal, and then Angela to top it all off, and then he felt very responsible for that.
Yeah,
and I had some great scenes with Elizabeth Rodriguez talking about that. Her sister. And and then now you introduce my family, which adds this whole other character layer. And then my niece last year, that whole running thing where it was like Cooper was kind of like a father figure who was also using his niece as a spy. It was like,
we gave you the hands for that, by the way.
Yes, we did give you the hands for that.
So there was I feel like there's been a lot of really cool character development that I've been every year. I feel like I get challenged more, and now with the love interest, having a different part of my character involved with his heart, with his passion, and yet still trying to do the justice thing. It's it just gets more and more complex, which makes it a lot more fun to play.
Cool. And also, your one
line. I think that I would still be here 9 years later, though. I mean, I feel so blessed to still be here. And yeah, from episode 1, I had one line. I think it was like, I think Angela had just gotten the promotion. I say, congrats on the promotion, Angela, or something. I think that was like, just congrats on the promotion. That was it. And here I am still 9 years later.
And you are. Yep. Wow. That's a testament to your ability.
And not only that, I think your character really fits, or you fit the character. So when I see Saxe, I see Saxe. I mean, I see a person who is acting the role as if it were real. And and that's a good testament too, because what you're bringing to the screen is that reality that allows us to not only just see the show for entertainment, but we see it as it might be in reality. And that can only be attributed to the type of acting that you're doing. So, kudos to you.
Wow, thank you, Ronald. That's very high praise. I appreciate that. I love that.
All right. And,
Ron H didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Ron H. I want to get him in. Ron, you want to come in with your question?
Well, I'll be brief and quick, so we can,
you might be, but something else.
Well, it's definitely a pleasure to get to speak to you, Shane. I value your work now, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really was hoping that Ghost and Tommy was gonna kill you in that apartment. but the fact that, just to being honest, but the fact that you survived that, and I think the funny thing is the fact that you survived that and went through that whole first Power series and then made it to this Power series. I really like your character now. And I honestly think that this is like more of a statement. As I said, I think you should be a little bit more involved in the courtroom, because I think you're a really smart attorney. You might be a little slimy and Weasley, but I guess that's a part of the gig, right?
Yeah.
But no, I want to see you break somebody down on the stand. I missed that part of you, because I think you did really great at that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. We had some really great courtroom scenes in. I guess that was last season. Yeah, when Paz came in and stuff, and Tasha was still there. Ooh, it's got me thinking about the finale. You guys.
Ooh, right along the lines of where I was headed, because we do want to be mindful of your time, so we don't want to hold you up too long. But if you could give us 3 words to describe the finale without giving anything away. We know you probably can't tell us too much, but 3 words to describe what we can expect from the season finale.
3 words. Wow. Well, the first one would be consequences. Boy, no. Next word. I'm trying to make it poignant here. I would say, how do I say this?
Try not to give it away.
I'm
trying really hard.
So consequences, betrayals, and as you can imagine, it's also a launching pad, into the next season. There's a lot that goes down. I mean, there's so much. Episode 8 that just aired 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that one was explosive.
I was like, I thought that was one of the best episodes of the whole series, you know, Power included. I was like, I thought that episode was unbelievable. I had me as a fan, like on the edge of my, well, I was in bed, but on the edge of my pillow. I mean, I just thought it was great from beginning to end. So I'm really excited about what we're doing. I think that I think that we've found it. We're finding our groove. You know, it is a new show. There's a lot of new cast members, but there's a lot of still some feeling of Power because we have quite a few cast members from Power.
Yep.
And as you saw announced, you know, Blanca's coming back, Monique. So
that's probably going to be problems for you and Tariq, because you guys have a complicated relationship. And then Tariq, you'll probably be on him about the Ray Ray situation.
You probably, you know, it's funny because I love that Cooper's always has this. I always have this sense that people like me, you know, like he always thought that Tamika and he were like friends and that they liked each other and they were friends. And she's like, no, that's you're wrong about. You're perceiving this relationship incorrectly. And I think he feels the same way with Blanca. I think like, no, we're cool, right? And remember she got that wife and he's like, oh, hey, you know, maybe I'll get in here. And she's like, no, I want you out of my house. And do you though? And she's like, yeah, I actually do.
But you messed up her career too, though. You kind of threw her under the bus.
Yeah, well, you know, she kind of came at me first, and I just
yeah, she did.
I drew a bigger knife. That's what happened.
Yeah, we're playing each other.
I have a question, and you can tell me if you can answer this or not, but a friend of mine just sent me a clip, and it says it's like a promo for season 3, and Davis is in an orange jumpsuit.
That's an old clip.
Oh, okay.
I thought the same thing, and they said it was from an episode of Blue Bloods. Because I was like, oh my goodness, Davis is going to jail.
That's what I was thinking.
But it was an old clip. I read the comments.
Good, because
they love doing that. They love doing that.
Yes, beware of the internet.
Yeah, because someone just sent it to me, and I was gonna be like, if Davis is in an orange jumpsuit, are you next to him?
Hell no. I wouldn't survive in prison. Are you kidding?
Hey, you know, Shane, real quick, I want to talk to you about, just if you got a second, the other side of you as an author. You wrote a book a few decades back called Ice. And if I'm not mistaken, it had something to do with the Apollo mission. Had the Apollo mission taken place decades before?
Well, I love where you're going with this, but I'm going to stop you because that wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't write that. It might have been. There's a writer who writes, and I think he writes for Star Trek as well, and some stuff like that. We've got the same name.
Okay. Okay.
Not me.
Well, I'm
glad I would like to get some of those checks. I would like to see if I can get some of those checks.
Yeah, I'm glad to have cleared it up, because I've thought about it and I'm like, okay,
I do write, but I write screenplays. I write, you know, like material for TV and film and stuff like that. I don't write books. It's too much. My brain's not that big.
Well, thank you so much, Shane, for joining us. It's certainly a pleasure. I'm sure everyone on with us enjoyed it and thought it was such a nice surprise. So we certainly appreciate you.
This was a blast. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the great questions. And it's nice to meet you all. And we'll do it again sometime.
Yes, please. You're welcome back anytime.
And I just want to say, you know, I'm sure Cooper Saxe is going to do something for us to put him back on the hands list, but we'll still Shane Johnson. Shane Johnson is cool with us. All right. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you,
guys. Appreciate it.
Looking forward to the finale.
All right.